Tally, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite YouTube series. I'm Vika, and today we are going to be looking at Hide and Seek 2, posted in 2025. Hide and Seek 2 is the sequel to the first film made by JD Productions. It takes place on the same day the original was posted to YouTube, Halloween. This time it follows 4 new friends: Arthur, Heath, it's a different guy, I swear, Christian, and Rylan, played by Declan. It is similar to the first one, except Colton has a mask for the killer. How many people will lose their lives in the next round of hide and seek? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie opens with teasers and trailers. The version I'm using is the premiere version because they haven't released the regular version yet. The actual movie starts 2 minutes and 31 seconds in. It actually opens with a really spooky title card and a group of kids walking out of school on Halloween. Christian and Heath are talking about Ben 10 when they are joined by Arthur yapping about how the Miska Masko tool could beat the Omnitrix. When they get outside, Colton shadows them. He played the killer in the last film, and he's back again, still possessed by the hide-and-seek curse. The whole conversation has some of John Carpenter's music playing over it. They had an actual score, and I think an actual script this time. Anyway, they get into the mom's car, and Heath goes to Arthur's apartment building. Inside, the strange music follows. He feels like something is watching, and when he turns around to look, he sees Colton in his new mask, ready to kill. This time, he's brandishing a machete. He walks lazily through the hall, stalking his victim. Again, I want to highlight the music here. It's mostly from Halloween and Terrifier 3, and they're used to great effect. It's pretty tense to see Heath getting chased through the building. But it is a long-ass scene, and it ends with Heath escaping unscathed. We cut to Rylan and Christian trick-or-treating in the same apartment complex. Heath joins them soon after. They talk about the hide-and-seek killer attack, which was 8 months ago. I cannot hear any more what they are saying, and there are no closed captions, so you just have to figure this one out on your own. For some reason, Rylan and Christian go hunting for the hide-and-seek killer. Rylan suggests playing hide-and-seek, to which Christian accepts. Little do they know, the killer is watching them. He runs out from behind the car, giving chase. The killer catches up to Christian and stabs him twice in the chest. Then he turns his attention to Rylan. He stabs and slashes the fuck out of him, six times to be exact, and this kills him. 1 week later, Arthur and Heath are talking about the strange attacks. Heath says that Christian and Rylan just disappeared while they were trick-or-treating. They walk past the same building and talk about how the two were going to play hide-and-seek. The camera pans over to the killer, who is following behind. When they finally notice him, like, geez, it took them forever, they run for their lives. They are almost caught when they get stuck outside the apartment building. Inside, they barricade the door, and the killer slowly pounds on the door before leaving. The two go up the elevator and try to find a safe place to hide. Soon enough, the killer finds them, and another great chase scene ensues. They hide in Arthur's bed, and we get a flashing light warning. Ooh, first one in the video, or the channel. Anyway, the killer climbs up the ladder, and look, there's Christian. I assume he accidentally got in the shot, and I originally didn't count him when I saw him and Heath escaping down the stairwell earlier. Anyway, Colton finds them hiding in bed, and Arthur kicks him, and the killer just kind of disappears. He thinks he's gone for good and leaves, but Arthur is more tentative, and is about to leave as the killer gets out of a cabinet beneath his bed. The two escape down the hall, and the killer follows. They run into a stairwell, and if you've seen this before, you know exactly what's coming. As Heath runs down the stairs, he trips and the killer slashes his back. He then cuts Heath's torso in half and kicks it down the stairs. Oh my god, this is a pretty good kill for a few kids with literally no budget. Arthur screams at the death of his friend, and the killer appears. He chases Arthur up the stairs and out of the building to the roof. Like a dumbass, Arthur decides to fight the killer. He walks forward, swinging his machete, but surprisingly, Arthur isn't immediately murked. Instead, it's the killer who dies, or we assume. Arthur stabs him with his tandem blades, but I'm not counting it. I have a script for the next film, and it confirms that the killer survives. The movie ends with Arthur walking back down the stairwell. How many people die when the mysterious cursed killer comes back to kill? Let's find out and get to the numbers. 3 people died in Hide and Seek 2, and since all the main characters were male, we have another blueberry pie. It is the same count and gender breakdown of the last film, so no killigami here. With a runtime of 22 minutes, that gives us a kill on average about every 2.29 minutes. This time, we do have a Bloody Best award, and that firmly goes to New Heath. Declan was particularly proud of this death, and from all the scenes of this movie, this was the first one he showed me. Les Mis loss absolutely goes to Christian. He died from 2 stabs, and I thought he wasn't dead half the time. And that's it. Hide and Seek 2 came out on November 22nd, 2025, and is the most recent movie. We just started filming on the 3rd, so I have no idea when it'll come out. Until then, I am Vika, and this has been the Fatality Tally.